Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to your next vlog on One Man and His Boat. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all very well indeed, and before I crack into what we're actually doing in this vlog, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who wished me well after my recent illness. Yes, Barry even caught the cold. I'm not that invincible, I am human after all. But thank you very much guys, your comments and your love has just been, it's meant the world to me, it really has. So guys, what are we doing in this vlog? In this vlog we are doing Creel anatomy and Creel history, especially for the Dunbar men. It's been a long history in Dunbar for creeling and how the process has changed from back in the day to today. The creel shape has still stayed the same, however the materials are all different these days. So guys, I am standing in the very same spot that this 1930s famous picture was taken. Now this picture is a very young Bob Marr, who is a very famous fisherman from Dunbar, and he was sitting here with his father mending creels. Now the next picture you're going to see is the 1950s, where Bob Marr has his son and he has shown him the ropes about how to build creels. Are you getting the picture now? Everything is passed down from father to son in the fishing community. Now this is a big thing that I've got against the MCA. Yes, I'm going to stick off with my kick-off word, the MCA. I know this is about creeling, but I just wanted to say my wee 10 cents worth as always. I'll try not go into a rant. But the MCA seem to think that they can stop passing knowledge on to your sons and daughters these days, and it's the only way fishermen knew. I learnt from when I was 7 years old. Everybody that in Dunbar Harbour learnt from a young age, but the MCA think because they've got the legislational power to do what they want when they want without any check from the government, that they can't pass this information on to your family, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Everything that they're trying to do is just control, absolute pure control. Anyway, we're not talking about that, we're talking about creels. Right guys, what does Barry admire about these old men of the sea? Well, the old men of the sea actually worked the sea the same as the farmers worked the land. They worked it seasonally. Now, they worked the creels in the summer months, and then they worked the herring and cod and all the rest of it in the winter. Now these days we're so legislated that we can't do these sort of things, so that's why you see all the gear that we've got these days. And the best thing about the old men of the sea is all their creels were biodegradable. Now that's a big thing for me. I would love to get One Man and His Boat to that stage. I mean, the bows and the top sticks were made with willow, the bottoms were made with hardwood, the mesh itself was actually made with hessian, and they knitted it themselves. And the weights, to keep the creel down in the bottom through the tangle roots, that means through the seaweed, was just bricks off the seabed. Can't get any perfect than that. That is a total biodegradable creel. Now these days it's not as good because it's all basically down to cost. Now I've been costing actually how much hessian rope would cost to actually run a fleet, and a coily rope for today's coils is £70 for 220 metres at 12mm. For the same type of rope as biodegradable stuff is £320. Now I need a minimum of 2.5 coils per fleet, so do the maths guys, it's a lot of money. So that's why the men of today can't go really biodegradable. So guys, before we go into actually how we make creels and all the rest of it, you have to understand what works best for you. And I'm afraid I'm going to give you homework already. You have to get the creel that works for your area is go and talk to your local fishermen. Unfortunately not all creels work in your area. We've got different types here at Dunbar. We've got square ones on my left, your right, and we've got the normal shaped double-eye parlours on my right, your left here. And each one will fish differently in our waters. We've tried inkwell pots. That is a pot with a bucket-like shape on the top and no other eyes or access panels, and they do not work here. However, down in Cornwall and down south, they work grand. So what you have to do before you even think about making a creel is get down to your local fishery, speak to some of the men on the pier, see what works best for them, see if they'll give you some ideas on how to build a creel to their standards, and then take it from there. Then hopefully the rest of these vlogs will help you out on actually the detail on how to build a creel. So the next photograph that I want to introduce you to is Big Xander. Now Big Xander, I'm proud to say, was one of my grandfather's best friends, and as you can see by the picture, he is building a biodegradable wooden creel, and it's the old willow framed ones. Now back in the day they didn't actually nail the willow through, they actually tied it all, so everything that you see in front of you is all hand done, and that amazes me, it really does. Now the bottom is obviously hardwood, and today this is the modern day equivalent, the wooden creel. We still build them at Dunbar, and that's what we're going to be showing you in the future vlogs coming on how to make your creels. So guys, what types of creels are there? Well, everybody that watches the channel knows exactly what I work. I work wooden creels these days, and I work single-eye parlours, I work twin-eye creels, and I work twin-eye parlours. Now here beside me we have an Angus Miller creel who's been a friend of the show before, and this is a perfect example of a modern day classic. Nice steel frame, nice and heavy, roped, and there's no rubbered, but 9 times out of 10 they do rubber the bottoms to keep the bottoms safe from the bottom of the sea. Now these are single eye parlours, they've got a good size eye in them and a nice big bait bag as well, and then a nice parlour end for the lobsters to sit in. Now the shape of the creel means everything when you're making them. This archway is easy to stack and it's very strong indeed. Now most when you're building things in architecture and everything, you think of a roof. Your roof's strongest point is at the peak, isn't it? That's exactly what this does. This is your strong point, and everything else is holding that strong point up, and without that it's going to make a not so good creel, which we'll show you in a minute. Right guys, here we have a square single eye parlour. Now it's exactly the same as the other creel that you've just seen, however what you'll find is this will catch the ground like nobody's business because obviously it's square shape. I mean, you think about it, the seabed is not all flat, it's all rocky and stuff like that, especially where lobsters like to lie. Now you can already see here that the corners are worn, that's why they have to rope them as heavy. Now these stack really lovely on a boat, but by goodness, yeah, they're not as good as catching for some reason as the modern day classics. I really don't know what the difference is, but the lobsters would tell you. Right guys, since the weather's getting absolutely lovely now here in sunny Dunbar, which is not very sunny now, we're actually getting sleety rain, we're going to hash on quickly with this. This is the double-eyed parlour. Now this is obviously longer in length, and we've got 2 eyes, we've got one this side and one the opposite side, and it works exactly the same as a single-eye creel, except you've got 2 chances of lobsters getting in. Obviously this is very pretty indeed, but these are all being repaired after Storm Babette, which the guys are really still recovering from. I mean, we're going to show you a picture in a minute of the whole harbour, and this is only half the gear that they were able to get in. The other half is still out in sea, still balled up, and the reason it's still like that is because the guys haven't got the weighty boats these days to actually lift balled up gear. Back in the old days, what used to happen is the old 50-foot trawlers used to have big trawl winches on them. They used to be able to lift them up with a landing derrick, and everybody would work away, cutting creels off, getting everything aboard, and then getting them back ashore. These days, all the boats are plastic, too light, and they haven't got the winch capacity to actually lift these things up. So there you go guys, the guys are still struggling. This is what, 4 weeks now, Jeff, since Storm Babette? Yeah. And they're banging in the stores, trying to knock gear up to trying to salvage what left of their livelihood they have got, and once again there's 2 or 3 boats actually giving up because there's no help from the government. Nobody seems to be bothered their backside because we're individual businesses. Right guys, before you actually think about building your creels, you have to sit down and really think about what you want to work. Now your main components that you'll need is an eye, a bait bag or a bait band. What the difference is, a bait bag is obviously what it states is a bag that the bait goes in. A bait band is just 2 bits of string with a button in the middle, and you put the bait in and you slide that drawstring down, the button down, and it keeps the bait in. Now there's two flaws with that, and I'll go to that more in depth when I actually come to make bait bags in future vlogs. But you need to decide if you're making a single eye parlour with one eye, a double eye parlour with two eyes, and then your parlour end as well. So it all depends what you want to do, how much it costs, because obviously making a creel is very costly. That's another thing that we've never covered, is the price of a creel. A creel this size is darn well nearly £100 these days. If you're wanting bigger, you're talking up to £150. So the smaller you can make your creels, the less costly it's going to be. And it all depends on how long you're going to be between actually pulling them. If you're going to be like 2 or 3 days between creels, you're better with a bigger parlour. If you're going to be hauling them every day, a smaller creel will be suitable enough. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this little introduction about creel anatomy and creel history, especially here at Dunbar, because it is a big thing. I mean, I absolutely love it, especially the history of it all. And I would love to get one man in his boat to a biodegradable creel one day. I really would, because that's the future. That's what we all strive for. That's what we all should be doing. But like I said, cost is a big thing. If you liked this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. Please write a comment below if you have any questions, and please subscribe to the channel. Oh, and don't forget, remember, I'm going to ask your local fishermen about what works best in your area. And until your next vlog, my friends, you stay safe. All the very best. Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to your One Man in His Boat vlog. That was absolutely terrible, we'll do that again.
Yeah, I practiced one.
I know, 2 weeks. So guys, what we're doing in this vlog, well, we are going to be marble mouth. Calm, where's my zing? Right guys, what are we going to be doing in this vlog? Well, in this vlog we are actually going to be talking about creel history, especially for the Dunbar men, the anatomy of creels, and why it's so important that we have this vlog so we can take you on to the next stage about actually building a creel. Now, a creel shape in itself is, see, that was good until that bit. Didn't vote up that.
Go from where in the creel shape in itself, you could up to that point, I can edit it.
See, I didn't want to go too deep into that. I think we should just shut it down there, mate.
Alright, redo the thing then. Just redo it again then.
Right, okay. You're going to have so many bloopers, bro. Oh, fuck, stop laughing. Oh, dear. So guys, what I most admire about these old men of the sea is they fish the sea the same as the farmers fish the land. They fish seasonally, they fished other stocks, and creeling was only a part-time job back in the day, and what they used was biodegradable material. Everything that you see in the picture from the 1930s and 50s, everything was everything was biodegradable. See, I'm still quite firing no cylinders, Jeff. I'll start that again. So back in the day, everything was very accessible for these men. The mesh itself, the knitted from hemp. The tops and the bows were all made from willow, and the bottoms was hardwood, and the weights for the creels was actually just bricks off the beach. Now you can't get any better start that bit again. Good God, you're going to have your work out for your brother. Now,
I'm recording now.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a professional behind the camera that's forgotten to switch on the record button once again, and that's another blooper, and it's all Jeff's. Easy to stack, and it's very strong indeed. Now, most when you're building things in architecture and everything, you think of a roof. Your roof's strongest point is at the peak, isn't it? That's exactly what this does. This is your strong point. I can't even get the bloody word out.
Just check, talk to me a minute.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Just drop down.
Oh, for goodness sake, it must be when I walk, mate.
Right, off you go. It's running. I'm definitely recording. Focus.
Right.
You weren't in focus. Right.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, mate, you're fine. That'll just be another blooper and it's no mine. Excuse me. So guys, I hope you liked this little introduction about Creel anatomy and Creel history, especially here at Dunbar. I mean, it's got a big history down here and I absolutely love it, I really do. I love all fishing that come from Dunbar. But if, I'm just leaving stupid nonsense now.
Start again.
See, it's always on the first take I can nail it, but after that it just goes to a barricade Pete Tong. So guys, I hope you clear the throat again. Yeah, I'm still ill.